Hey everyone, it's me, Coleman, the face behind the blog. Well, this is my final entry into my blog. It's actually a vlog, as you can see. But this is it. This is the end of the semester. I'm wrapping up this project, this course, and my first semester as a freshman here at Georgia Tech. This being my last post, I'd like to look back on some of the things I've done this semester. First of all, the blog. You all, if you're watching this, you've read my blog. You know what it's been all about. But really, it's been something different. Sure, I've written about podcasts, I've written about Clash Royale, I've written about, all sorts of things. But the blog has really been about learning to communicate. I've learned how to be multimodal, an aspect we talk about in this course, through woven communication. If you don't know what that is, go read my first blog. But so I've been able to learn how to communicate through pictures, through text, through headings, through formatting, all kinds of stuff that just makes a blog a blog. We talked about this thing called a blessay. It's like a blog and an essay, but really, I think it should just be a blog. Essays, as academic as they are, they're kind of boring. Let's be real here. So in a blog, you can just be yourself. You can have a casual voice. You can have memes. You can have GIFs. Yes, I say GIFs. You can communicate yourself however you want. That being said, there's also the aspect of the blog of what it was really about, which was contagion. So in this class we talked about contagion, getting sick. We read a book called The Plague. Ironically enough, I've succumbed to contagion here at the end of the semester. I apologize for my voice. But so contagion is not all about getting sick. There's this second aspect of it about spreading. And more specifically, it's about spreading fast. So a lot of my blogs actually talked about contagion outside the aspect of being sick. In my free blog, The Metavirus, I talked about Clash Royale and how there's this thing called the meta spreading across video game communities. In my movie review, in my video essay, I talked about how in the movie Avatar, the humans are like a virus invading the planet and destroying the home of the Na'vi. But they're not necessarily like a disease. It's more of a metaphorical type thing. So contagion can be something that just spreads really fast, maybe in a wanted way, maybe in an unwanted way. We talked about trends, we talked about all kinds of things relating to how they spread quickly. And that's what really makes contagion. So here in my first semester at Georgia Tech, I've learned a lot of things. First of all, don't spend time in your dorm room. Your first semester of college is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing, hopefully. So don't waste it away sitting here in your dorm. You can watch Netflix whenever you want. You can, play Fortnite whenever you want. But just don't do it now. It's too good of a time to miss. You need to get out. You need to meet people early when everyone is still looking for friends. It may seem like other people already have their groups right away. But, you need to go out. You need to meet them the first few weeks, right when you get here. That being said, you don't want to spread yourself too thin. I made the mistake at the beginning of the semester of joining 20 different clubs, talking to everyone I saw, trying to make 1,000 different friends. And, if I could go back, I wouldn't do that. Now I've picked a few select things that I love to do. I've joined the Ramblin' Rocket Club, building rockets. I've made friends there. I've made friends in the electronical innovation team. I've made friends with my roommate, with some of his friends, some of my sister's friends. So it's just about spreading yourself where you want to be, not too thin. They say don't be a mile wide and inch deep, but rather be an inch wide and a mile deep. There's some truth to that, but just you want to concentrate yourself, but not too much. I think one major thing I've taken away from the contagion narrative is looking for patterns. Now, contagion, like I said, is all about spreading, and it's all about deducing where something is going. So in epidemiology, doctors look for a patient zero, like I talked about in my podcast, and they search for the spread of a disease, starting from the beginning and working their way forward. In my video essay about Avatar, that's all about a pattern that we've seen in history, about the natives being colonized by an outside force, a virus, that attacks them and takes away from them. We've seen that before in history, the natives in Africa, all kinds of different stuff. But looking at contagion in other perspectives, like I did with the metavirus, it's all about deducing patterns and looking for origins. So with the metavirus, I talked about how the metavirus stems from supercell balancing, and then that changes the way players play the game. We can use this idea of contagion as looking for an origin and looking for patterns as a way of logic as we live our life. And in our everyday lives, we can look for patterns, deduce places we go, things we do, and try and shake it up a little bit, try and spread, try and mutate the virus, if you want to say. Well, that's about all I have for this vlog, so thank you for keeping up, thank you for reading, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the contagion narrative.